Alderney was a very good training zone for particularly Alderney Week and the events that things do, and in general in Alderney Week and in Alderney, you know, it was a good training
Very
centre.
social.
Well, and also communication, also taking an idea and running with it. And for those, you've got to thank the likes of Ray Parkin because they allowed people to do things and just said, right, you want to do an event in Alderney Week? Yes. Right. What are you going to do? I'm going to do the backward wheel flip competition. Right. Okay. So 11 o'clock, off you go.
Do it.
I hope it works.
Yeah.
And your dad also, these were all people who, the concepts of the entertainment, but entertainment with a business raison d'etre is much harder than it looks. So when it comes to recruiting people, it's interesting. I am much less the people who were best at that job were people who had done, I wouldn't say vocational degrees, but they were people like I had one girl who did a degree in waste management and dance.
I love that.
Yeah. And it was from Bedford University, right? I mean, I can't understand the synergy,
No.
but because the dance element meant that she had to go every single week, put on a show. She had to present herself. She had to turn up and do it. Okay. And she also then had to sell her show to the various people and whatever it is and market it. Their interactivity and their personal presentation and their interpersonal skills were way above someone who's not done a degree in economics with doing a BA and blah 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 and an MBA afterwards. A lot of the biggest problem I see in the future is complete lack of interpersonal skills because everybody's going online and everybody is they reliant on computers to do very basic intrapersonal interactions. And when you're selling somebody a house, or whatever, you've got to have intrapersonal. You've got to be able to read people. You've got to be able to see if the wife is making a decision or whether it's the husband making the decision. You've got to see if the kids are happy. You can't learn that from a computer. And that is something that I really see as a future problem. And in fact, one company we had back in Gibraltar days, which was a tax advice company, they had geeks, and they wanted a program of promotions all the way up the Spanish coasts. But I realized we had a problem that these people would not know how to handle and how to deal with a group of people at a Mercedes presentation launch. And so I used to have to give training sessions, which was how would you sell David Beckham a trust fund at a Mercedes presentation launch? So how would you go about actually? And these people said that they'd never been told that. They'd never been showed that. And I think there's something wrong with the education systems or something, which is not training people in intrapersonality. And those who do have that skill, and this is an advice for anybody listening who's got younger, particularly children at student age and things, go and work for an organization like Club Med, or go and work for something which requires public interface, because it will be a skill that you will use for the rest of your life and it will make you a lot of money.
I love that. And that is such, I mean, that's Alderney all over. I can see why you poached a lot of the young talent from Alderney.
Oh yeah,
because,
I'm a thief.
yeah, I mean, we spent our lives growing up on Alderney, entertaining people and speaking to people of all different generations.
Well, you look what I do. Yeah, I mean it's all.
But this is it. Like, telling stories seems to be a skill that you can't teach overnight. I mean, you can teach someone the framework or the local knowledge, but actually, if they already have that ability to to present themselves, then you can build them from there, you know.
Mhm.
But I really appreciate what you're saying there, because you know, this is why when, you know, when I hear a lot of my friends say, oh, their parents didn't want them to do dance at university, or they didn't want them to do performance because they should go get a proper job, and you go, oh my lord, you know, look at them now.
No,
You're like, they can't communicate.
no, they can't. I mean, it is frightening. And okay, they might get a job in the civil service or in a heavily bureaucratic or a tax office or something, or great. I mean, but you know, in terms of actually making things happen and being prepared to run a risk with a vision and to being prepared to persuade a group of people to do something, you have to have the interpersonal skills. If you don't, you know, you can't do everything online.
Mhm.
A computer cannot do that work for you.
Yeah, and you're not always going to be part of a giant organization where
No.
that has people doing everything, particularly in the future. I mean,
And a lot of them also, with the onset of AI, okay, a lot of them are going to find they'll have jobs. So in fact, this is why I always look at, you know, I mean, for instance, the Georgian here. If you look at their recruitment, they always find exactly the same people that I would have employed in my sales office.
oh,
You know,
Holly's going to be well happy to
no,
hear
they
that.
do, because I mean they have a you know, you can tell who's a good recruiter and who's not a good recruiter, and you can tell by the atmospheres in the establishments.
Mm.
And I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, we you know, if you look at the Georgian staff and everything, they are outward going, they're positive, they, you know, they're good chatters,
They're a lot of
and
fun.
you never feel that they're like, you know,
Mm.
running low on the batteries.